Huzzah, everybody, and welcome back to Let's Play Metroid for the NES. Last time we made it to Kraid's lair and grabbed a few goodies. Today we're gonna actually fight him, and I spent like literally 15 minutes grinding off of these assholes just to have a reasonable amount of energy just to fight this boss in the first place. I'm telling you, man, like energy pickups in this game are sparse, because for the most part, aside from the rare large type enemy you'll be encountering like in certain portions of the game, it's mostly going to be like smaller enemies about the size of like Samus's torso, and you only get like 5 like HP from each of these energy pickups. So again, you really want to do your best not to get hit too often like I did. Anywho, with that being said, let's go ahead and fight Kraid. And I am living on a prayer here because I'm just hoping this all goes well. That being said, morph ball bombs rake this guy like a motherfucker. Because for some reason with the morph ball bombs, the hitbox lasts so long. It's like it just hits them over and over again. And if things start getting too hectic, just freeze the projectiles as I had mentioned. I don't really know how it's possible to freeze the last projectile though, as far as I know. The one that's like at his foot, because Samus can't exactly shoot that low, so you're just gonna have to kind of take the hit. I hate this boss so much. Ugh. Like, as crazy as it sounds, it's probably like one of the hardest Metroid bosses in the series. For all of the wrong reasons, oh my lord. But, thankfully we did it with just barely any energy to spare. And we got ourselves 75 missiles as the fruits of our labor. But before we leave, I think there's an energy tank in here somewhere. Yep, there sure is. Gimme. Gimme, gimme, gimme. Why am I having such a hard time getting the thing? Yeah, I just don't see how to... How are you supposed to get that? I couldn't even get there with my morph ball. And yeah, there's the save feature I talked about, so I guess in the end it worked out because it kind of just teleported us back to the beginning. So I didn't have to backtrack through all of that, yay, because what we would have missed out on if we had to backtrack is that we had to go through this really annoying segment where we had to like shoot through these blocks and then wait for them to respawn and then jump on top of the respawning blocks. Kind of like the annoying puzzle we did back with the, what's it called? The waiver back in Brinstar when we had to get the, Vario suit. I said that section might actually be more annoying. Holy fuck, man. Well, I guess I saved you guys a lot of time anyway, so, be thankful, you bitches. So right now, we're pretty much done with the entirety of Brinstar. We even got all the expansions here, too. So, with more than enough missiles to spare... Speaking of that, I love how we start with the missiles we had when we died, but the same doesn't apply to the energy we had. Fuck you too, Metroid. Fuck you too. So, yeah, we're heading to Norfair now, which is easily my least favorite area in the game because of what I had mentioned earlier. It's just so confusing to traverse through. Oh my god. Like, I know Brinstar pretty decently off the back of my mind. But Norfair, man, it's just a whole nother story. So instead of jump cutting like a pro, I'm going to actually show you how to get to Norfair to begin with, assuming that for some reason you haven't played this game yet in 2017. that's assuming I don't die before we get there first. Alright. I'm just getting headed by everything today, aren't I? Alright, so... we haven't been to this room yet, or actually we have. We had to get the missile expansion here. What am I talking about? That was the first thing we got. Lol. But, basically, instead of going to the spot where the missile expansion was, we just keep going and Norfair is just right across from here. Now those kind of enemies there, I do believe actually give us like 20 units of energy to spare, so if you ever see those guys, be sure to kill them no matter what. They're like your best alternatives to grinding energy in this game, I'm telling you. Energy is pretty sparse to come by to begin with in this game, so you want to hold on to all the energy tanks you can, and the energy within those energy tanks, because good lord, just grinding in this game is such a pain in the rear end. But thankfully we don't have to worry about the missiles too much though, because again, we got like 75 missiles from Kraid. That's more than enough missiles to spare for going into Norfair. So we'll be fine. We'll be perfectly fine. And if you thought all those missiles were plentiful, oh my god. Norfair has plenty of missiles to spare. In fact, there's actually like certain rooms you can go to where you grab like 3 missile expansions at missile expansions at once. I should probably get a glass of water after this recording is done. So let's see here. There is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, there's 10 missile tanks in Norfair. So we have plenty to obtain in terms of expansions, but not so much in upgrades. The only upgrades we have to get here are the wave beam, the high jump boots, which are going to be really useful, and the screw attack, which is also really useful. You can actually get the ice beam again here if you want, but we're not going to be worrying about that until we have to backtrack to go to Toran once we beat Ridley, so I figured I'd get the wave beam. Why not? It's not something we need. In fact, it's something we don't need, but that sounded redundant. Looking back at how I said that in hindsight. So I'm trying to think of where we need to go first. Okay, so the high jump boots aren't too far off, but we're gonna go to a hallway of different rooms up here before we do that, because there's a bunch of missile expansions to grab on the way. 4 of them to be exact, or was it 3? I wasn't paying enough attention. So, let's go do that, shall we? Actually, let's not, because the ice beam is in this direction, and there's this one part behind, like, the room where you get the ice beam where you go and make this big loop around where the missile expansions are. And I'd rather save that for when we actually go and get the ice beam in the first place. So let's not worry about that at the moment, but rather, let's see here. Okay, so this hallway leads to absolutely nothing. Fantastic. So instead, what we want to do, and this makes Norfair even more confusing to traverse through, is that we need to bomb these blocks down here. So, yeah, because this game relies on a lot of copy-paste, if you ever see segments at the bottom of these vertical hallways where it just kind of abruptly ends, just kind of take your time to like bomb the floor there, because there's more than likely a hidden passageway there. So luckily we don't need to grind missiles this time. We have all the missiles in the world to open up this door here for a very useful upgrade, as I had mentioned earlier. The high jump boots, and it's kind of our only versatile movement option upgrade in this game, because we don't have a space jump, we don't have a wall jump or anything like that. Just the high jump boots, and because it's just the high jump boots and the high jump boots only, it's more than useful than ever here in particular, because there's definitely a lot of rooms like these where you're going to really need the high jump boots in order to make traversing through these areas a lot less annoying. Seriously though, can you imagine doing that with the default jump boots? Like, holy frick. Oh god. I'm gonna use my missile there to blow up that enemy. If you ever run into an enemy that has what seems like an infinite amount of HP, but yet it seems like you're still damaging it, chances are it's something you're gonna need to use your missile for, because it actually kills those enemies instantaneously. So, again, another good reason why it's very useful to have missiles on board here. I'm actually wondering when we're going to actually run into a energy tank here on the way, because I could really use some energy right about now. And I certainly don't feel like taking 20 minutes to grind it, so sue me. Anywho, where are we at exactly? Well, we're not far from the screw attack. In fact, it's right up here. So let's go ahead and do that. Thank God for maps, because I probably would have, like, skimmed over this room by now if I had not had the map on hand. In fact, I probably wouldn't have gotten far in this game at all. And there's the screw attack! It's essentially the best weapon in the whole game, really. You jump into enemies and you kill them instantaneously like a boss. That's not saying the wave beam isn't useful or anything, because it really is. It's pretty goddamn strong, if I do say so myself, but this just takes enemies that aren't on foot level and just turns them into your bitch, basically. Okay, so next up, we're gonna go... Okay, I guess here's what we're gonna do. So, there's a long stretch of backtracking we need to do in order to get this one energy tank and missile, but I could really use the energy tank right about now, so we're gonna go get it. We're gonna go get it, damn it. So, what we need to do is bomb this. And take this hallway here. Again, there's just so many places where you have to bomb, and it never comes off as readily, like, noticeable, that you're just gonna be traversing through a whole bunch of nothing unless you really take the time and concentration to just bomb everything. I mean, granted, the spots you have to bomb in very similar looking rooms is more or less the same, but like, still, it's so hard to keep track of because all of these rooms just, they feel so identical, damn it. And all this for an energy tank, too. Whew. The original Metroid really does make you work for it, huh? I'm starting to remember like the layout of these rooms actually, because when I think about it, a lot of like the terrain here, just like how all of these rooms are structured and the order you need to go, is very much similar to how Zero Mission's layout is actually. Except like Zero Mission's rooms themselves actually had a lot more identity to them, so what the hell? Oh boy. Are we gonna actually have to go through that lava just to get that energy tank? Oh my lord. That's gonna suck. Great, so I have to grind energy anyway. Alright, should have more than enough now. Oh wow, I really didn't need that much energy to go through here, huh? A little extra energy never hurt anybody, I guess. There it is. I mean, I know there's like 2 energy tanks over in Ridley's lair, but like... I know... What? Why couldn't I bomb it from the other side? What the hell? This game's hit detection, man, I swear. I know there's like 2 energy tanks over in Ridley's lair, but like, I know one of them in particular is like really awkward to get, and I don't want to play like devil's advocate just to get the damn thing in the first place. Oh god, how am I gonna get it back? How am I gonna get back here? What the heck? Oh, okay. So there's 2 different ways of getting in here. Huh. Or am I overthinking things again? I don't really know. Yeah. It's looking like I'm gonna need to get that bottle of water before continuing onwards because, man, I am just word tripping like a boss right now. In fact, it's almost 12. Should probably get some lunch right now. Oh, wait, hold up. Darn it. I thought it was going to be 20. Can you shoot these things? Yeah, you sure can. I was wondering why they were so oddly colored at first, too, because I don't even remember seeing these platforms in Zero Mission. Probably for a good reason. It just kind of looks like they took the game editor and just, like, kind of clicked the mouse on whatever part of the screen they felt like putting those platforms on without any real coherency to them. But I'm not a game designer in the 1980s. What would I know? Anywho, that being said, next time we're going to try to find Ridley's lair and get the wave beam. So, thank you guys for watching and see you guys then. Also, I'm hungry, so I'm probably going to be taking a bit of a break here before getting back into the swing of things. Anywho, see ya!